He just cut an ad for her congressional campaign.
In our nation's 246-year history, there has never been an individual who is a greater threat to our republic than Donald Trump. Liz is fearless. She never backs down from a fight. There is nothing more important she will ever do than lead the effort to make sure Donald Trump is never again near the Oval Office. And she will succeed. I am Dick Cheney. I proudly voted for my daughter. I hope you will too.
I will say it's a sharp hat. So Dick Cheney's a big fan of his daughter. So is CNN. In fact, they think Liz Cheney can be president one day.
You think your father, does Dick Cheney want Liz Cheney to run for president in 2024?
Dick Cheney is a big Liz Cheney supporter. Both of us have just this real sadness, frankly, about what's happening to our party and a real despair about how could it be that so many Republicans would refuse to stand up and tell the truth. And it's a scary moment for the nation.
Or just like the record to reflect that you did not say that Dick Cheney is not telling you to run for president in 2024.
Liz Cheney is counting on support from Democrats and CNN to help her win her primary on August 16th. Her campaign sent out this flyer to Democrat voters in Wyoming, which begins, quote, "How do I change my party affiliation to register as a Republican so I can vote for Liz?" This would have been unthinkable a decade ago. The Democrat Party have aligned themselves now with Liz Cheney and apparently Dick Cheney. And what is going on here exactly? Glenn Greenwald is an independent journalist. His work is on Substack. You can check it out. And he joins us now. Glenn, let's start with this idea first of Liz Cheney as a presidential candidate. I can't find a poll, Glenn, that shows she's going to win her Republican primary for Congress. Why is CNN floating a presidential campaign?
You know, it's bizarre, Will. 2005 was when I stopped working as a constitutional lawyer in order to become a political writer and a journalist. And at the time, the absolute liberal consensus, virtually universal, was that Dick Cheney wasn't just someone who was misguided, but was somebody who was a fascist, a racist, a bloodthirsty war criminal, somebody who had created a lawless presidency, someone who stole the 2000 election from the rightful winner, Al Gore. And Liz Cheney isn't just his daughter. She's somebody who has been vocally defending her father's most controversial policies from the beginning and to this very day continues to. She's not somebody who recanted her support for torture and domestic spying in Guantanamo and the war in Iraq. She's somebody who continues to defend it. And so to watch liberals heap praise on Liz Cheney, Nancy Pelosi called her a leader of great courage, integrity, and honesty, is absolutely surreal. But the motive is obvious, which is literally anybody who opposes Donald Trump becomes a hero in the eyes of Democrats and liberals.
You know, you asked that question, Glenn, on Twitter. I saw it. I wanted to bring it up, and I wanted to see if I could get you to answer your own question. We have the tweet, which we can put up, I believe, which you ask, what is it? Has the liberal mind explored the explanation of why it would be that the man who they called a Nazi before calling people Nazis was cool is now one of the biggest opponents to Donald Trump? Why do you think liberals explain Cheney hating Trump?
Yeah, I think people have forgotten that in 2016, the expectation of the Republican establishment was that the almost certain winner, the certain nominee, was going to be Jeb Bush. And Donald Trump campaigned vehemently denouncing the entire Bush-Cheney foreign policy worldview, not just the war in Iraq, but the entire view that we should always be at war, that all of our money should go to regime change all over the world. He denounced that militaristic and imperialistic vision as something that destroys peace in the world and benefits only a tiny sliver of the American population, weapons manufacturers and the like, and Donald Trump won. And so what he basically did was expel Bush-Cheney ideology from the Republican Party by denouncing them. And all this is, the reason Dick and Liz Cheney hate Donald Trump, and the Bush family as well, is because it's just petty dynastic vengeance. They're angry that Trump positioned himself as an adversary, an opponent of their defining worldview and ideology and legacy, and he won the Republican primary by doing that.
So the left, so wedded to principle, at one point, the adversary of neoconservatism aligns themselves today with the originators of neoconservatism, or the banners of neoconservatism, in order to oppose Donald Trump because he was opposed. to neoconservatism. Really, really principled. Glenn Greenwald, thank you so much for joining us tonight.